All right, here we go. Welcome
Fuck.
to session 3 of our open beta playthrough of Daggerheart by Darrington Press. Head over to deadsunsco.com for announcements and our other projects, or to listen to Mike say a bunch of crazy shit all at the same time.
Bro, I thought you guys knew how to edit.
Head over to patreon.com/deadsunscompany to consider supporting us. Playing games, we would do this in our free time anyway, but podcasting does have a little bit of overhead. We need art, we need music we can actually use on the podcast, so every little bit helps. A couple of pieces of housekeeping before we really dive in here. First couple sessions, we had a little bit of back and forth around fear and when I should or shouldn't be collecting those tokens. So I did a little bit of a deeper dive. It does specifically say in the book that fear rolls by you can either have a dramatic impact in the moment, or that the GM may choose to collect a fear token to impact the game later on. Because of this, I did go back and remove a couple of fear tokens from my pool. I was at 4 last session. I reduced myself down to 2. However, we also have been dealing out hope more often than should be as well. There are...
Stop the cap, Justin.
There's
Stop the cap.
There's a weird thing. There's a difference between actions and reactions in this game. It's very nuanced. An action is basically if you guys are choosing to do something and I say, okay, well, to do that, you need to do a roll. That would be an action. If I'm doing something to you, though, and you're doing a reaction, like when Kaneromyces was walking down the alley and something was happening, that would have been a reaction roll. Reactions, the only difference really is you still roll the 2d12s. You just don't collect hope or fear.
Or fear. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll try and be clear on that. We can kind of decide. It's kind of weird. I wish there was a little more guidance on when it's a reaction and when it's an action. We're just going to have to kind of play it by ear and agree when we can. I also went back and clarified I should only ever have 6 fear at any given point in time. 10 is no longer the max. That must have been some from some old rule set that I was referencing originally. All right. Any questions?
The fun of playing in an open beta playtest. The rules change every time.
Yeah, this is literally the first time we're playing this. Never played it before, so you're learning it along with us. But here we go. Last time in Erisset, our party was called to a surprise test in the training yard of the Order of Eventide stronghold through a magical announcement. The Knight Captain, Gallant Cleaveheart, announced that this would be a trial of combat between the company of Lieutenant Danastaprel, Lieutenant Dan, and the company of Gerard Graves to decide who is worthy of knighthood. The winner has an opportunity to become a Knight of Eventide. The loser will be a squire for the next 5 years. Meeting their adversaries in the sparring ring, they face off in the training yard. Ox and Gerard, you threw yourselves right toward the south side of the yard in a standoff with Tuskerel and Scruff. And at that point, I'm going to move you guys over to the scene so you can remind yourselves what the hell is going on.
Oh, we know what's going on. I'm going to bite that ass.
Winning. I see.
Yes.
Brad can't wait to eat some ass.
A note on the battlefield here. Last time we got kind of hung up on moving our tokens around the zones. Just remember, the zones are just for us to reference where you guys are and where the enemies are. Don't worry about them too much. If needed, I'll move us around. Ox, you whirled your mop around in a circle and struck both enemies nearby you, and Gerard intervened as they were trying to attack you as that wild-eyed dwarf, Scruff, turned his attention toward you, got spun around by Gerard. Underestimating Scruff, though, Gerard, you did get pulled down into a vulnerable position by his hooked hammer. You are currently vulnerable and restrained by Scruff.
It's all part of the plan.
Kai and Ripley, you waited left, where Lieutenant Danastaprel and the Daemon Mage Humphrey the Horned struck back. The Daemon Mage lashed out with tendrils of magic, while the Elfish Ranger took the high ground and launched an arrow toward Kaneromyces. Not to be outrun, though, Ripley, you leapt forward into the slippery moss of the scaffold ramp and triggered an unseen tripwire that stopped you in your tracks as a sturdy wooden thud to the chin. Despite this, you threw your arrow toward him and struck him in the leg, and Lieutenant Dan fell from his post up on the tower into the sand pit below, knocked unconscious. As we get in here, another quick point of clarification on fear. I stated last time to do literally anything I have to do fear, just to kind of clarify that. The trap that I triggered with fear is a very tame example of fear. So, yes, that's how I would trigger that. However, typically when I trigger something with fear as an environmental effect, it's going to be a paradigm shifting effect. So like something is going to start permanently moving, or something's going to collapse, or some other thing is going to happen. So just keep that in mind. It's not always just going to be some tame little trap that pops up and stops you. If you're rolling agility in an area to avoid traps, those traps may have already existed. That may not actually be a fear thing.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So just keep that in mind.
So is fear more like you could just manifest a trap that didn't exist to shift the world?
Right. I could do that. Or
Okay.
I could manifest that obstacle course actually has like swinging logs that are now active on that ramp that Lieutenant Dan decided to trigger, or something like that. Or somebody who's watching the obstacle course triggered from outside. Something like that would be a little more fear level.
You might not have been following along, but Lieutenant Dan is dead.
He is.
So
Unconscious. This is a protected fight.
To preempt this, then, just to make sure I'm fully following.
Yeah.
If you placed traps or obstacles or events into a battlefield in advance that were going to require some level of skill test from us, that's not necessarily fear. But if you just go, you rolled with fear, here we go.
Time to change some shit.
Got it.
Or hey, some previously unnoticed thing.
And for anyone who's listened along before, in Eric's words, that's GM fuckery.
It is GM fuckery.
I was say
but,
that literally wasn't my comment. So
I
that's
could
literally
see
where
your
the GM
face.
fuckery is happening.
well, but the GM fuckery in this has a cap, right? Like if I don't have any fear, no GM fuckery, right?
Got it. Okay.
You're the GM. It doesn't have a cap.
It has a loose cap. All right. As we jump back in, just to remind you, all of you have already gone except for Caneromyces. So we're going to start with, what do you want to do, Caneromyces?
Nom nom.
Oh, no. There are no turns in this game. I am actively
You
waiting.
can actively choose to wait. That's
I'm
fine.
waiting
Kai's
until
going
Kai
to-
swings.
I'll say, having been prodded by Nero last time, Kai's going to actually swing at Humphrey.
And if Humphrey survives, then I'm doing something.
Oh, that is going to be a 14 hope.
All right. 14 with hope on Humphrey the Horned. That will hit just barely.
All right, so then I'm going to be...
We'll take a hope, or if you're going to use a hope on this turn for something, just use it and don't bother tallying it up.
I think I'm going to... Yeah, I don't have anything that I'm going to use on it currently, so I'll add that later. But I am with proficiency 2. Adding it, so I'm going to do... If I do this math correctly, 11 damage, and he will take at least 1 stress. And if it's severe, he'll take another one.
11 damage. Does break his severe threshold.
So that's 2 stress then.
And it won't even matter because he is down.
Son of a biscuit.
Kai's just going to stand there and be like, Nero, you wanted me to do what?
I look around and I go, right. Somebody want to hit somebody?
I mean, I still got scruffed by the scruff. So if you want to come this way.
Yeah, the problem is the way my thing triggers, somebody has to do something right before me.
I would
You
like
want me
to
to
not
do
be
some shit?
compromised anymore.
Hey man, what are you waiting for? There's no turns. Even if
Yeah.
you go now and do something completely different,
That's
when somebody does something, you can just do another thing. You know?
my
So-
understanding is that he got me with like he kind of has like a halberd, right? That's
So he's got
me,
like a
hooked.
warhammer. It's got like a hook on the one end. He grabbed
Okay.
you by the back of your shell and tugged you down to one knee. You're in a compromised position right now.
Okay, I will do whatever strength check I need. I guess I'm gonna reach back and grab it and try to pull it out and like scoot to the side.
All right.
Would I make that any easier for him in any shape, way, or form if I bite the sumbitch who's holding him down?
I'm sure being bit would kind of break his concentration.
Yeah, if you want to try
Cool.
it.
So while
Go
he's
for
doing
it.
that, then I'm going to run at Gerard's back, not land on his spikes, midair turn myself into a wolf, and launch off his back and bite the motherfucker holding him down.
Hell yeah.
So I'm going to use Beast Form, Mark of Stress, and I turn
Okay.
into a level 1 pack predator, which increases my strength by 2, evasion by 1, and gives me a 4 armor score.
So how does that look with a mushroom man turning into an animal?
Well, I'm actually a mushroom coyote, or wolf, I guess. So, like, instead of fur, it's
You
all
actually-
mushrooms.
That makes sense.
It's all mushrooms.
It's all gills, baby.
No, dude, you're like a lion's mane mushroom right now. It's got all those little
Yes.
hair follicle things coming
Ooh.
off of them.
There it is.
I kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
envision the
I say
coyote
they're
just coming out around
master
him and
games.
him going into the sheath.
Ooh.
That's-
So you're making an attack.
Yeah.
Hero?
I'd like to.
Go ahead and make an attack. If you would like to, I would say, because Scruff is surrounded by 3,
Okay.
Gerard, you will do your strength check with advantage. So you'll add a d6 to your
Right on.
your dice.
Well,
You know-
then that will become a 22 with hope.
22 with hope.
Maybe one day I'll roll well.
It's a big
No.
roll.
I do get a hope from that, right? Because it's a
Yeah, that's you actively trying to break
Okay.
free from something. So general rule is if you're initiating the action, that's an action roll. If I'm initiating something against you and you're reacting, that's a reaction. So yeah, you yank his hammer free as Nero bites into him. Nero, what was your attack roll?
With my strength modifier, it's an 11 with fear.
Your bite does not actually injure Scruff. It does catch right on his. He has a greave on his leg.
Okay.
You bite into it, and it kind of breaks off one of your squishy teeth because you are a fungus coyote.
I'm cool with it.
And you rolled with fear.
I do.
So,
I can't give you fear. I was going to try, but wouldn't let me.
that is the one resource that is locked down from you. However, both of you need to add a action tracker token. So it should be one from each of you.
How
I
do
forgot to
I
add
do
one, too.
this?
you got it.
How do I add an action tracker? Oh,
I think he just did.
Eric did it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I
Eric.
added it for
Eric's got
myself.
you.
Oh,
That was
okay.
for myself.
Oh,
I added it.
there it is.
There you go, Brad.
You are no longer vulnerable or restrained, Gerard, but it is my move. I am going to. I'm going to do. Scruff being in it with you right now is kind of fending you off. So I'm going to say he's not doing anything right this second. Let's
Jason,
see.
Jesus, Justin, do you spend a fear to initiate your turn?
No.
No, I'm
'Cause he
choosing to
rolled.
not bank the fear that that
Okay,
Nero just
gotcha,
rolled
Gotcha.
to make it my turn. I could have
Okay.
just
Yeah.
passed my turn and added a fear, but I'm using the fear he just generated to go.
My bad. It's 3 for 3 on fear rolls for me.
Why are you so
All
scared?
right.
I'm a giant mushroom, man. I'm a little scared.
All right. I am going to use Tenny. Tenny is actually going to move up into the obstacle course up near Ripley. As she comes up on Ripley, she will dart around you. Ripley, do you have anything that can hit her or anything like that as she passes? I don't think
Oh
you
yeah,
do,
I'm
but
definitely gonna tongue punch her.
do you have an actual reaction that lets you do that? I don't think you do, but
Yeah, I have. It's a racial ability.
yeah, but
You have the ability, not the ability.
Yeah.
To use
Give her the
reaction.
hot tour.
she will run up past you and just kind of neener at you.
Wait, I can't.
Um,
I can't react and swing at her.
No, there's no default attack of opportunity. If you are like a warrior, they have attack of opportunity. I think Ox used it earlier.
Let me see if I have it.
There's one subclass I think that has it.
I
okay.
almost guarantee you don't. If you find
No,
you
I
do,
don't. I don't
just let
got
me know.
nothing. I don't got nothing.
She kind of climbs up past you. She doesn't use the ramp directly. She climbs up the scaffolding directly and kind of neeners at you from the side of it. Gets up onto the tower and then is going to drop from above you. There's like a scaffolding fence where there's a crate and then a fence post, and she's going to drop down on you, kind of like Assassin's Creed Eagle drop style. And let's see if she.
I'm just T-posing as all this happens.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, look at all this happening.
Look at all these things I can't do. Level 1.
All right. Does a 15 exceed your evasion or
Yep.
tie it? All right. Diving down with 2 daggers in hand, stab down at you for 9 damage. Oh, I'm sorry. That's even more.
Well, I don't have 9 health, so it doesn't
9.
matter.
Yes, you do.
Get a look at your damage scale.
Yeah.
17.
What
Yeah,
do you
it's
damage.
not all coming off your hit.
What do you mean
points.
by damage scale?
So you're going to look at your minor, major, and severe thresholds.
Just above your
Above
hit
your HP.
points.
1, 2, and 3, right?
It
Negative.
shouldn't be 1, 2, and 3. It should
God,
be.
I hope not.
That's how much you'll mark, but your class would actually tell you what your thresholds are. So, like as a druid, my basic is 1, my major is 7, my severe is 14.
Unless you've leveled up and done anything, it'll say on your hit points start with one, minor blank, major X, severe X.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says 1, 2, and 3.
No. That's what you mark. It does it say mark 1, mark 2, mark
Yeah,
3?
mark 1
Hold
HP,
on.
mark
Yeah,
2
yeah.
HP.
That's not
Pull
your
it-
values.
No.
What?
All right. You have, by default as a rogue, 1, 7, and 14.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at that later. But
Yep. So that will exceed your severe, so you will take 3 HP of damage.
Damn. Teeny just went up there and just killed Ripley.
All right, nah. Fuck her.
I'm actually really hurt now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, do
no,
you have?
I,
Hang on. Do you have armor? Because if you do, you can knock armor to reduce that damage.
Yeah, I have your basic Gambus and
So, like,
What's
I
your
have
armor
armor
score?
5, and so I marked off 4
He's-
slots.
He has armor 2.
So you could knock off. You could break your armor essentially to knock your HP loss down to 1. So you took 3 damage because you got exceeded to severe. And if you chose with armor 2, if you choose to take 2 hits to your armor, you could reduce that down to 1
Well,
hit
what's
point
your
of damage.
what's your armor score?
2. I'm pretty sure it's a 2 with the Gambus.
So each armor slot you spend reduces the total damage by 2. So you
Yes.
can get it from a severe to a major.
Oh,
I did mine wrong. I'm 100% taking 2 points of armor back because I definitely marked off 4 armor slots for 4 damage.
oh, it's no. Each one reduces
Yeah.
the damage incoming by your armor score.
Wait a
Which is
second.
why Gerard
Wait,
is
what?
stacking armor is insane.
say that
Yeah.
again.
No, so wait a second. Did I just understand the game better than at least one other person at this table?
You
sure
You
did.
totally did.
Sure as hell
Man, you know,
So
I-
hold up. An armor slot takes away your armor or the
So
the
if
value
if
of your
I
armor
do
score.
if I do
Yes.
17 damage to you
Mhm.
and you have, like, let's say armor 5
Yep.
for your armor score, it would reduce that down to 12
Oh, yeah.
For
Okay,
each
so, no, I
slot
did this
of
right.
armor.
I did this right.
for
for
each
each
slot.
slot of armor. And
Oh,
then you
armor
compare the new value
that.
against your damage thresholds.
Which
So
is
does it
why
break the armor?
me having a 14 armor with 8 slots is kind of ridiculous.
It is kind of ridiculous.
I was
Also,
doing
yes.
see
it
the,
right.
when you see the slots on this.
I 100% misunderstood you. Was thinking I reduced the actual.
It's next to
HP
your
damage.
armor score. There's boxes right next to it.
Look at
Yeah,
us
what are those
learning.
boxes for? It doesn't really explain what the boxes are.
Those boxes are your armor slots.
You should
So
start with like 6.
They work the same way wounds do, kind of, in this.
Yeah.
You mark one off when you break a piece of armor. So that's basically indicating that you damaged your armor by putting your armor in front of the damage.
Okay, so I checked one of those boxes, so that reduces the damage I took by 2.
Yes. So it would be what you had, 17 damage, or what
It
was
was-
the damage?
I think it was 17 damage. Your severe threshold is 14.
So I would have to
So
mark
mark
off 2
two.
slots.
You
Yeah.
you take
and
2
then it
HP
would
of
go
damage
down
instead
to...
of 3.
Exactly.
What is your HP, Carl?
I believe everyone starts at 6.
6. Okay, yeah.
So
I
I don't
was-
know of any class that
so
doesn't
I use-
start at 6.
Yeah, I use the package to do mine, and the package tells you all your information. So I wasn't sure if that was just my HP or the general. You know,
It's the package tells you exactly for your class. Everyone
Right.
else is slightly different things.
Yeah.
that's why.
So
We are learning.
Seeing Ripley getting hit by this.
Hang on, still my go.
Okay. Oh, it's your go. Okay. Never.
He's got fear tokens to burn.
I don't turn it over until I'm either out of action tokens or I just say, all right, who's next? Or something like that. So, having Tenny do an eagle dive down on you, Ripley, you are now in direct melee combat with Tenny Toes, this little fawn girl. Tuskerl behind Ox is
Gonna die.
going to use an action and become hidden. She fades away from you, and a puff of smoke kind of makes you blink away for a second, and she's gone.
Now, like, look at this.
Skulk.
Tuskerl, the orc woman. She's got kind of sharpened teeth and gray skin. She kind of chuckles as she goes away. She does. She smells quite bad. All right.
Should be able to smell her.
Yeah, do we have a smell score?
I mean, I'm in wolf form. I mean, I feel like I got a.
You don't understand. I can smell if someone's pissed on a urinal, like from miles away.
Between Ox and
You can tell when a urinal cake has run out from 3 stories away.
I can sense this.
between Ox and Nero with his urinal nose and my wolf nose, I think
You
we'll find
almost
her.
said urinal score.
I did say urinal score.
What is your urinal score?
It's a real thing.
It's an Ox stat
You can
specific.
pee into there from 20 feet. You gotta see it.
Gotta see it.
Sendal, the Qatari with 2 tails, pulls a javelin from her back quiver and throws it toward you, Kai. Does a 14 break your evasion or match it?
It does.
Excellent.
Sounded like a miss.
Delightful.
That does sound like a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit outside Indians fans.
The javelin pierces into you, dealing 6 damage.
Okay.
Does that break your major at all, or is that still minor?
Still minor.
Okay, so you'll take 1 HP of damage as it strikes into you. It doesn't go very deep. It kind of is more of a glancing blow. As she does this, and you kind of like try and dodge and get hit, as you turn around, you see she's already halfway up past you onto the obstacle course. She actually can move as a passive. She moves with purpose across the battlefield anywhere within a far distance after she attacks. So she goes to the furthest tower across the balance beam and everything.
Cheeky bastard.
Uh-huh. And now it is Scruff. Now, reeling from what's going on and surrounded by all of you, will have disadvantage on this. But he is going to just take a swing at you, Gerard. So you are right there.
Don't even ask me about evasion.
Just a lump.
You're a tank.
I can't get out of the way of a fart. Like,
I rolled a 16 on the die, minus 3 on the disadvantage, so that's going to be 13 plus. Oh, he actually has a minus 3 on his attack modifier as well, so
Even better.
it's a 10 to hit.
it still hits me 3 times.
It's your severe threshold.
No. I'm saying my evasion is 3. I'm a turtle in plate armor. I can't get out of the way, dude.
That's awesome. So it
He's
still hits
literally
you.
Metal
Very
Bowser.
fitting.
All right, let's hit you then and see what we can do to get 0 down. Okay, so that is 14 damage as Scruff wails into you with his hammer, trying to break your shell.
All right. Couple things here. I am going to mark 1 armor and make that damage 0. And then,
Because
Now-
fuck you.
well, one question though. So if
I
I
love
mark
that.
if I mark a armor, I technically did not take damage, correct?
That is a good
I
question.
don't think you can reduce it more than down to 1.
I don't think so either, but can someone check that for us quick while we keep going?
Take damage
AKA
from a
Eric?
creature in melee range.
I'm on it.
Rules lawyer.
I can check it too, but I think you'll still take 1 HP, but I could be wrong.
No, that's perfect. I want to take a little bit of damage.
Dude.
Okay.
Unless your minor threshold is above 1.
My minor threshold is 3.
Oh, so then, yeah, you would take no damage. Either way.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what my answer is.
I don't think you can reduce the number of damage below 1, but
Yeah.
if your minor threshold is above 1, you take no damage.
What's the wording on the thing that you're trying to do?
Okay. Well, retaliation. When I take damage from a creature in melee range, you mark a stress to immediately deal weapon damage to the creature at half proficiency rounded up. If this is going to prevent me from retaliating, I am not going to use my armor.
I would say, regardless of how that's worded, I think if it's worded in a way that makes that stop your retaliation, Daggerheart and Darrington Press need to change it.
You
still technically took the damage. It just hit your armor.
You're just reducing it with your armor.
I still got hit with an axe. I'm really mad about it. Whether it actually hurt me or not, I'm pretty upset.
Exactly. It wouldn't really impact your ability to retaliate.
Your sensibilities have been...
If anything, it would make you more able to retaliate.
I will mark a stress and then to immediately deal weapon damage. So that means I don't even have to roll to hit, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so it's at half proficiency rounded up would just be 1, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
we're
obviously.
right now.
Well, you have 2.
I was hoping you would just say 2.
That's
like,
right.
Your brain would stop working
He's
for a
a nerd.
second. That'll be 7 damage.
All right, let me check what Scruff's got going on here. That will exceed his... It'll match his major, so he will take 2 points. He's looking pretty rough, but he's still up.
Logistical question: does that count as an attack when he retaliates?
It's a reaction.
You dare to swing your weapon at me? Crack.
Gets around the action tracker too.
Set him straight.
It does get around the action tracker too. You don't need to use an action to do it. I am now at 0 action. However, I am going to spend a fear quick. And as this is all going down, Tenny Toes gets up and attacks Ripley. Scruff attacks Ox and then attacks Gerard and then gets retaliated against. And Sendall Tails gets up onto the tower. You kind of notice in your peripheral vision as a crowd has started to gather on the walls and in the open pillared hallways around the training yard. The raucous cheering lifts those who raise it, but deflates those who it turns against. Beware the influence of the onlookers as you continue.
Oh. And you can reduce all the damage with your armor.
Oh, you can?
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah. You can negate some or all, it says.
Okay. Good to know.
Sweet.
So you can reduce it to 0.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
That is my turn. Who's next?
In the spirit of what you just said, Ox hearing the crowd, you want a show? And I'm going to use deft maneuvers. So I'm going to spend it or mark a stress.
Okay.
To mark. So okay. Well, do I need? How far away are all of these areas? Are they all?
So all of these are adjacent zones. I made this combat very simple. Everything's in close.
Oh, okay. I
So we
guess
can
I don't
literally
need to
get
do
to
this
any-
then.
The
Anyone?
only thing
I
that
was
I
being
would
dramatic.
maybe consider far is the tower that Sendall is on, because it is across a balance beam.
We'll deal with him. But Miss Tenny Toes over there hit my guy. So
Okay. They are just up 1 layer onto a scaffold ramp. So there's like a switchback ramp. It goes up 1 way. They're at kind of the turning point as it ramps back up toward a tower closer
would
to
that
the
be
sand pit.
more distance than close?
Nope.
Or
You're,
no?
you're still good. I'm just
All
letting you know what the terrain looks like,
All
because
right.
it does impact the way you move. Just because there's zones doesn't mean it's immediately able to move to where you're going.
Go get her, Ox.
All right. So you
So,
lumber
I'm-
across the brass sparring ring up onto the ramp and take 1 step like it's a stair up onto the ramp.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go up
And
the ramp
as I do
itself.
that, I'm voicing this out to the crowd. Look at you fighting dirty. Keep our parks clean. And I'm gonna swing at this bitch.
Keep our
Okay.
parks clean.
Are you trying to win the favor of the crowd in any way, or are you just kind of spouting off?
Okay, so
If you're trying to win
how
a
do
favor,
I do that?
I would let you do an action roll to try and win the favor of the crowd. It would be a presence roll. Now, there's a risk here. If you fail to do it, or whatever it is, they may turn against you as well. So,
does that action take away my attack action?
There are no turns in this, so you could just go action to presence and then action to attack if that's what you want to do, as long as your party's cool with it.
I'm going to try it because...
The risk is you might give me fear, and you might make it my turn.
Being finally on a party, so
I want to see it.
I'm rolling it.
I want to see it.
Presence roll?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where's my... All right,
so this is the weird paradigm I was talking about earlier, where it's like reaction or action. I'm starting to try and phrase things differently to let you guys initiate actions, because if I'm asking you for a roll, it's technically a reaction. So I need to clarify what you're trying to do and then tell you if it's an action or not.
Okay. Gotcha. So I rolled a 7-4, so an 11, and it would be a hope.
An 11 with hope.
Ooh.
So take a hope. I'm going to add an action token to my action tracker here for you.
All right. I'm not going to take the hope, and instead I'm going to take my D6 for my Call of the Slayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 4. So, okay.
And that's the first one you've added this session, right?
This session, yep.
Okay. 11 with hope. As you kind of spit out your catchphrase, you catch in the corner of your eye a group of ne'er-do-wells who seem to be kind of swaying the crowd right now. You recognize them from maybe a few weeks ago when you had them on latrine duty, and they shout back, "Down with the janitor! He eats shit!"
Well, you smell like shit. I put you there.
So you failed the roll. You didn't fail with fear, so they didn't turn against you too bad, but the crowd is now laughing at you and is cheering for you to fail. So you will get disadvantage on this attack roll.
Ooh, motherfucker.
So you D6, and you'll subtract the D6 from your roll.
All right, then I'm going to add the D6 of my... Fuck these guys. All right, so that's a 12 to hit.
And you're swinging at 10.
That's a 14 with my strength bonus, right? So, yeah, 14 to hit 10.
Okay, we're swinging at 10. A 14 does hit. Roll damage.
Oh, bitch.
It's the biggest character squashing the smallest character right now.
Could be.
Yeah.
Just stomp right on him.
All right, so I rolled a 9. So that's 12 plus 1, 13, plus my my Slayer dice, so 13. That's 19 damage with the fucking mop.
19?
With a mop.
Oh, your mop swings, and you're using this mop two-handed because it is a Warhammer or whatever.
Yeah, it is a Warhammer, yeah.
I assume your trash can lid's kind of like chilling on your back or on your hip or something.
Yeah.
Warhammer? I thought you said floor hammer.
So you swing into Tenny, and it breaks her severe threshold. She gets hit in the head and ends up actually falling away from Ripley down into a balance obstacle. And it's kind of like a bunch of posts coming up out of the ground that people need to hop across to get to another platform on the other side. Ooh. She's now sitting down in this like underbrush of undergrowth underneath those. She does fall out of your sight as she falls into this undergrowth below.
Are other players able to jump in when these things are happening?
You can jump in right after, yeah.
Can I just clarify something? I don't want to take a turn. I just want to clarify something. When you roll to hit, so my modifier is strength. So I add my strength to hit, correct? But do I add it to the damage roll?
No,
not to the
damage.
damage.
Okay, I did it right then. Okay.
Yeah, so every weapon has its own just damage calculation.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about any of your traits or anything for that. The only thing you need to pay attention to for damage is your proficiency, which tells you how many of those damage dice that you roll.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't leaving damage on the table.
So
cool.
Ox is fucking hype. As he sends this bitch.
Was that fear or hope that you rolled?
That was hope.
Okay. Did you take your hope?
No, because I'm gonna
Do a Slayer dice.
replenish my Slayer dice,
Okay,
which
carry
is a 4. As this bitch is sailing, I'm pointing a finger to the crowd
Barrier bonds.
as I shoulder my massive mop.
And you rolled that attack roll with disadvantage, right? You minused a d6 from that.
Oh no, I did not.
So that was a 14 on your hit, if I remember
Let
correctly.
me roll a
Didn't you
d.
add the Slayer? I thought you
I
added
added
the Slayer dice.
Slayer dice to it.
On the attack roll.
No. You. I'm sorry. You said I hit, so I used it for the damage. So
You had
Okay.
disadvantage on the attack roll. That's just what I'm getting at.
right, but I didn't. Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
I got caught up when you said to
I
hit.
know.
Okay, so let me roll a d6 and then
Just roll a
subtract from
d6
that.
and subtract from it.
Okay, 3. So, fuck, I'm confused now.
So your 14
Sorry.
becomes an 11.
11.
Yeah.
Does that hit?
It does.
Okay,
You're fine.
then
I just wanted to make sure.
Everything
Okay.
continues as it was.
no. I got
All good.
excited.
I know.
You said words and I got excited.
Enough words. All right, who's next?
Ripley, if you're not doing it, I am.
Do it.
So you said Tenny fell into the bushes.
Yep.
Do we see where she fell?
You,
Like,
know,
would I-
you know, well, you have a general idea of where she fell.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna ask.
you're down below, though, so
I'm gonna reiterate my question prior because it does matter for helping Gerard. When Gerard used his reaction, I don't care if it's an action or a reaction, to thwack that bitch with his mace, was it an attack?
no.
Okay. That matters for me a lot.
What does your ability say? Does it say when someone else takes the attack action?
No, it says when you make an attack on the same target as an ally right before you. It says nothing about them taking an attack action, just that they attacked them.
Let's do it.
Okay. Then I want to bite the shit out of Scruff.
All right, do it. What it is.
So I'm still
Kill him.
Wolf. I watched Gerard whack him when he. What did your retaliation look like?
Well, I mean, I think it all kind of happened at once. I pulled his hammer up, and as I did, I ducked underneath, and I just threw up the. Oh wait, that was a separate thing, but whatever. Whatever,
No,
it doesn't matter.
Not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just come across with the mace, just full turn. You
Okay.
dare to swing at me?
As he says, "You dare to swing at me," I am going between his legs and lunging up at the guy's throat in a wolf
Watch
form.
out for the tail.
Please, for the love of God, tell me a 12 hits.
Who are you attacking?
Scruff.
Oh, 12 just barely hits.
Good,
Yes.
because I rolled that sumbitch with fear. I am 4 for 4.
Okay. Stop
Jesus.
doing that. Did you borrow Kyle's dice?
I must have borrowed Kyle's dice.
Brad doesn't get to go again.
I don't want to go again. This is so. All
You're
right,
in
so
timeout.
The pack predator. What happens is my attack is a melee strength D8 physical, but because he was just attacked right before, it is at a D8. So I get to do 2 D8 of damage,
Nice.
and that's a nice resounding. So I only add my proficiency, right? So that's proficiency is
No.
number of dice. So that is
Yeah.
7 points of melee physical damage as I slide between Gerard's legs, lunge up at Scruff's throat, and just chomp on him right on his shoulder and start ripping at him.
Okay.
Boy.
Punch.
And I never want to ask to go again because I can't seem to roll without fear.
Let's see.
And as I bite into him, being a mushroom wolf, I want my spores to just around me as I bite into him.
Puffball fangs.
Done
Hell
and
yeah.
done. You lunge from between Gerard's legs. Gerard goes, what the hell? And you bite into him, hitting his major threshold. He takes 2 points of damage. Still up, but he's looking like he's not happy right now as it becomes my turn. I am going to use an
Sorry,
action
guys.
token to activate Scruff, and he is going to try and grab
Do we
you.
need to add another one?
I'm adding
For
it right
Brad's?
now.
Okay.
Adding what?
I needed.
Action.
I owed you an action tracker token because I didn't add it yet.
Ah,
But it's
yep.
it's not letting me add. There, try that.
Yeah, that works. He is going to try and grab you by the scruff on your back, and he's
Yeah.
going to try and tackle you
Okay.
into the ground.
I think that is fair.
And he's going to try and land on you too.
I think
Obviously.
that's totally fair.
However, he is going to do that with disadvantage because you are currently biting onto him. So that is 16 on the die, -1 for the disadvantage. That's a 15 break your evasion.
Absolutely, it does.
All right. He is going to grab a hold of the mushroom scruff on your back, stirring up some spores. It hurts as he pulls you up and slams you onto the ground and basically lands on you, holding you down against the ground. You are
I am
restrained and vulnerable.
Not so fast.
Okay.
Let's go, Gerard.
I am your shield. As this is happening, I'm gonna stick my fat, my shell in between him and the wolf. Hold on. When an ally very close to you is going to take damage, I can mark a stress to stand in its way and take the damage instead. Reduce the damage by a value equal to your strength trait. So I am going to take the damage.
I just have this vision of like he grabs me and tries to tackle me, and Gerard goes and booty bumps me out of the way.
I love where your head's at with that. There is no damage for this particular thing. He is holding you down at this point. You are now restrained and vulnerable, so you will be. Other creatures will have advantage while attacking you.
That's fine.
I would argue that Gerard is still clapping them cheeks.
Yeah, he's trying to suplex him, but it didn't actually do damage.
Okay.
Clapping them turtle
but
cheeks.
I appreciate the stress intervention. So, Chineromyces, I'm going to add that weakened and... Where is it? Restrained onto you. You cannot move.
That's fine.
Mike, why did you add 1 to the action tracker?
Because I moved, and I didn't do it before during my turn.
I'm pretty sure
I added it for you. Yeah.
You did?
Yep, my bad. I should have probably said that out loud. But
stop throwing fuel on the fire, Mike.
Oh man, I'm just trying to be honest here. Fuck all y'all.
All right. Also going right at this point, Sendal is going to activate. She's going to pull a javelin off of her back and throw it toward Ripley.
The fuck, man? I ain't even gone.
That was me entire last session. I feel you.
Mike. Did you guys just have some kind of telekinetic bond there?
Bro, it's 2024. We have text messages.
Oh.
Get off with that Wiccan shit.
Does a 5 break your evasion?
We were making fun of you.
Nope.
By the way.
We were.
I managed to hop out of the way.
It happened.
Clapping them cheeks.
Okie doke. That is her move.
Oh my god.
I have one more here. Where is Tenny at?
GM.
That bitch bounced.
I would like to propose, as this continues to happen, and I can't roll anything with hope, that Nero now has the attribute of just a scaredy cat.
Well,
experience being a
I'm about to give you a reason to be a scaredy cat. So, Nero,
yeah,
does a 16 break your evasion?
Absolutely not. Only twice. Only twice over.
Tuscarl suddenly is beside you and stabs down with her daggers.
Gerard, this is the good time. I can't
no,
speak
you had
as a
an
wolf.
opportunity to be your shield, and I was thwarted, so I don't want to now.
That's fair. That's fair.
Sorry,
I'm
Brad.
kidding. I would totally try to step in if
Some
my
turtles
reaction time is good enough.
Just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, you
Slide into those DMs.
That is a reaction.
Not so
you can
fast, you stinky ass! And I'm gonna slide my shell in between.
Not so fast. Not so fast, you stinky ass.
We established she smells bad.
I propose
Smelled
we
her
do.
coming
Goes
from
well.
across the arena.
That is 16 damage as she exploits a weakness in your fur.
So I don't want to
quote.
Well, too bad.
Are you reducing it or not? Decide.
So yeah. Hold on. I'm spending the stress to do I Am Your Shield. I'm gonna reduce
You took back the stress from when he didn't let you do it, correct?
correct.
Okay.
And then I'm going to reduce that damage to 2 with an armor
How?
slot.
Doesn't it just say it reduces it by 4 or your strength,
wait,
whatever?
wait. Yeah, hold on.
I don't
You
think
can
it
still
lets
use
you-
armor slots.
Yeah,
You can
I
still
can
do
reduce it. You may also.
Oh, so you take
reduce
the damage instead.
He
I
takes
take
all
the
of my
damage
damage.
instead.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
literally
So-
steps
yeah.
in front
So
of me.
hold on. This is important. To stand in its way and take the damage instead. Reduce the damage by a value equal to your strength trait. So the damage goes to 11.
What's your
then,
strength trait?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, so
and
14 goes to
then-
11.
And then you may also reduce the damage by
It was
spending an armor
16
slot.
damage, so it's 13.
Oh, 13. And then I reduce
Okay.
it by 14, so I take 0 damage. And then I'm
Got
going
it.
to expend another stress to retaliate.
Do it.
So
Hit
I
that
kind of
stinky ass.
I shove my shoulder in between them, and then as she backs off, my mace is coming around with only one die, but what it's 7. Cool.
7 damage against Tuskroll. That will hit her major threshold, and Tuskroll goes down.
Damn, she weak as hell.
Yeah.
Bitch did not come correct to this fight.
Dude, Gerard is a legit tank. This is great.
Yeah.
At this point,
You are my favorite. You
at
are
this
my
point,
favorite.
the crowd erupts in cheering for your side. Whoever goes next will have advantage on whatever they're doing.
Are you not entertained?
Hey,
well then,
hey,
let me
GM,
do
Arms up.
hey, GM, are we allowed to propose that people get advantage in the future?
You can say whatever you want. I'll make a decision in a moment.
I'm just going to propose that Gerard gets advantage on his next action for purely saying something about "I'm going to smack your stinky ass" because it was perfectly timed to make the crowd go wild.
So, just to be clear, I know we're used to inspiration. This is not inspiration. This is advantage situationally. So, if there is a narrative reason that you would have advantage on something, I will give it to you, but not just for saying something cool.
I was just going with the fact that you said that the crowd could have an impact on our ability to have advantage based on shit you do in the ring, and he just said something really cool to make
Yep,
something cool
which
happen.
whoever goes next is having advantage because of
Got
that.
it.
Yep.
Okay.
With
I think
that-
Ripley
I
should
understand.
probably go here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And with that,
Yes.
Ripley, as the crowd starts to cheer, Ripley's going to pull himself to his feet by reaching out his tongue and grabbing onto the rail, regaining his balance, and then
I
he's
love
still
it.
holding onto that rail, and he's springboarding his way up towards Sendal.
Ooh.
And when he gets up to like midair, right in front of Sendal's face, here comes that tongue punch. That tongue's going to shoot back out of his mouth and try and blast Sendal right.
So
in the
you are
face.
going up the ramp to the first tower. Are you going to attempt to cross the balance beam to the second tower then?
Yeah, but can I use a hope to give myself acrobat advantage on that?
Yeah,
Not
you can.
advantage, but
Yeah,
it'll add a plus
to add your +1 to your from your experience to the roll. Yeah, just roll me an agility reaction. This is not going to matter whether it's fear or hope. This is just to see if you make it across the balance beam.
That is 18.
18.
No, 19 with the +1.
Okay, 19. With a 19, you easily spring yourself up, get up to that first tower, and sprint without even breaking a sweat across.
You know that frog sprinting meme?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing that across that balance beam. Because it's not a balance beam for me. I'm this tall.
So
So I'm just running across.
You're attempting to get into melee range, correct?
Not attempting, I'm succeeding.
All right, so as you get within melee
Respect.
range, Sendal is going to mark a stress and use a reaction to move away.
Bitch.
And then she makes a javelin attack as well. So she
Fuck
actually
you.
jumps down into the sand pit off of here, and
Is
she's
she
going to
within
make
close range of me?
No.
Dude, they're all.
Okay.
What the fuck?
I guess
Never mind.
I guess close is.
So I didn't
Weird
do
with the
anything. I
zones.
just ran up to her.
It
And
won't
she
let
just
you
left.
get. She won't. I mean, you'll still get your action, but she gets an interrupting reaction. That's one of her reactions.
Oh, that's a dick move.
It is. Does a 8 break your evasion?
No, fuck that bitch.
Okay, she jumps down and chucks a javelin up at you. She won't let you get close, but instead tries to attack you. The javelin falls past your head, and you just kind of go, "What the fuck?"
So I don't get an attack.
If you can attack from there, you do.
Yeah.
Get that
Hey,
bow.
Justin.
She's still in close range, right?
Yeah.
Well, then,
What-
yeah, she's still getting that tongue.
All right, there you go. She just can. Everything here is within close range.
You
so.
can't get away from this tongue.
So Justin, while he's rolling, What range was she with to me?
When she was on the tower, close.
Yeah. Oh, then attack of opportunity after Carl's done fucking her up.
You can
Hang on,
attack of opportunity
can-
from close, not very close.
Bro,
think it's
I
very
got
close.
arms the size of fucking trees.
He's a giant.
Yeah.
I think
My
it's supposed to be
melee
very
range
close.
is
I've-
fucking very close.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
very
a-
close.
very
That's
close.
Different.
Very
That's
close
different
is
than close.
very close is 5 to 10 feet away, give or take.
Okay.
Close is like 30 feet away, up
Okay.
to.
Closest you can
Okay.
sprint to it in a turn.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
I was
I-
asking
as-
for very close.
As
My bad.
as Sendal is trying to escape from me, that tongue is going to reach out and you just roll the damage dice, right? Or do you have to roll the attack
It's an
dice? too?
attack. Yeah.
So how do I do that? Just the help
roll
with
the
your
hit.
dice?
2d12. Yep. Choose which one's hope and fear. Tell me the
Okay.
full result and whether it's
18.
hope or fear.
18 with hope.
18 with hope. Take a hope,
Right, let me mark that real quick.
and I will mark an action tracker token for your attack.
How does it have 2?
I gave up my turn with 1 left.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I did.
Just curious.
All right. So and then you said
It made sense narratively, so that's what
So
I did.
19 with hope. Does that hit?
It does. Absolutely
Alright.
it.
So that
Roll that
tongue,
damage.
that tongue does 1d12 physical damage plus using my proficiency.
And did you roll that with advantage? You could even hit more. Not that it matters that much, but
You're right. It does. It actually I get an extra d6 because it's with advantage because it's a sneak attack.
Is that a feature you have?
That is a class feature for rogues.
Oh, you get an extra d6 of damage.
Oh, let's
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Roll on, sir.
Yeah, Ripley
I mean,
should
that
absolutely
anus.
take advantage attacks.
All right, and that is 9 points of tongue to the fucking throat.
9 points
Throat punch it with
matches
your tongue.
Sendal's severe threshold, and you do 3 points of damage. How do you want to do it?
Actually, not to the throat. Not to the throat. It's going to be a gut punch. And I'm gonna.
It's not going to be a 6th grade rec night.
Dude, did you want to hit?
situation.
So, as she's going away from you and she tries to huck a javelin at you midair, did you want to hit her midair while she's falling down into the sandpit too?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck her.
Deuces.
All right. Your tongue lashes out at her midair as she's trying to huck the javelin. It hits her in the gut, and her javelin falls short. She turns midair, losing balance as she's falling, and goes head first into the sandpit.
Oh.
All right.
I love that.
Who's next?
Unless someone else wants to
Absolutely
go,
not
I'll
me.
go.
Well,
I guess unless someone else wants to go, I guess I'll go.
Go ahead
Go
and roll the
for it.
while, Eric. It's all you.
All right. Kai is going to run down into. I guess I don't know where exactly the grass area is.
So from there's a switchback ramp that kind of goes up. It goes up once to the left, hangs at a catwalk, and then goes up again toward the tower. Beyond that ramp, there's a fence, and like the obstacle course goes into this brush area with big logs sticking up, kind of like a Karate Kid when he's trying to balance up on the post by the beach. That kind of obstacle course, but the brush is beneath those, so it's about like
I'm
10
gonna
feet
hop
down.
top down into the brush to where we saw that
All right.
one person fall.
As you get into the brush, it is much easier to see, and she becomes very visible to you, still laying on the ground, just kind of like getting her bearings.
I bet she is.
I'm gonna just come in with my scimitars and just try to stab her while she's on the ground.
I would consider her vulnerable at this state, so you will have advantage on this attack roll.
So this will be a murder.
It's going to be a 18, 20 with hope.
Yeah, you hit.
Marking stress to
I am going to add a action tracker token for you.
perfect. Thank you.
Boo.
I'm still working on this. Hope that is not the right dice.
That's
I'm using
amazing.
true proficiency with that. That's not that great. It's going to only do 7 wounds.
Uh,
With 2 proficiency because that's terrible.
7
rolls.
wounds is just her minor threshold.
Oh,
She takes 1 stress, and I forgot I'm marking it as a ranger's focus, so yeah, she takes a stress.
Dang,
Okay.
Teeny's a little toughy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
As that happens, I am going to swing back around with my mace. Time to end this, Scruff.
Are you? Because I'm jumping in.
I guess I
I'm
won't.
going to spend a fear to have your adversaries go.
Man,
The-
way to kill the energy.
right.
He did it to me too, man.
The crowd cheers around you. They will have disadvantage on what they're doing, but they are going to desperately try and fight back as most of their party is down, including their leader. Tenny will spring to her feet and will climb up on top of one of the posts above you, Kai, and kind of swing herself around the post as she dives down at you in a similar fashion to the way she did Ripley. With disadvantage, though, because the crowd is against them. Oh, that is 15 minus 6 for the disadvantage. So does a 9 break your evasion?
It does not.
Watch out, Kai! The bitch is doing it again.
She swoops around, and as she does, how do you avoid her attack?
I just backhand it.
Nice. She comes in, and you just kind of pull a Rafiki and knock it out of the way, and she falls to one knee next to you. Goes, damn it. That will be 1 action token for me. Scruff will go as well. Scruff, trying desperately not to fall victim to Gerard and Nero, is right next to Nero, is still got you on the ground. And because you're still on the ground, let me just check something really quick. He's got you pinned down, and he knows that you know that this is bad news. So he's going to attack at disadvantage still. So only a -2 on the disadvantage, which takes me to a 13. Does a 13 break your evasion? Nero.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was
You're
listening.
good.
And I'm like not processing my own name here. Yes,
good.
13 absolutely breaks my
Nero
evasion.
Mises. All right.
You ever have that moment where you're like looking at someone going, oh, that sucks for who it is. Oh, it's me. Cool.
Monday through
Because
Friday.
because he has you pinned down, you will take double damage from this attack from him.
Cool.
So that will be 14 damage, sir.
Buddy, I want to help you, but I'm really stressed.
I'll take
that
it in
dick
full.
hat.
I'll take
I'm
it
really
in full.
stressed.
That hits my severe. I'll take 3 hit points.
Okay. What is your severe threshold, out of curiosity?
14.
Oh, so right on
Hit
the
my
money.
severe.
You don't have any armor left at all?
You know what?
Yeah.
I do. I just wanted to flex back because, I have 2 armor slots left. I'm in wolf form, so my armor's only 4, so I'll
Take
drop
a major.
1 armor slot to make it down to major to take 2 hit points. Now I have 1 armor slot left.
All right. And that will be an action for me.
I'm like listening to this whole thing going, this is going to suck for who this is. Oh, it's me. Great.
All right. And that
Did it
will be
suck?
my turn
Vibing.
because there's only the 2 of them left at this point. Who's up?
Well, having seen that happen as Scruff is actively hitting him, he's got a mace coming at the back of his head right now.
Hell yeah.
You want to do a tag team attack?
Oh,
everyone?
yeah. Somebody do a
Dude,
tag
dude,
team
dude,
attack.
I'm down.
Kai, if he survives, you and I are 100% doing a tag team.
Well, hold on. I just rolled 2 9s, which in my understanding is a critical, is it not?
It is.
Let's go.
So
I
that'll
just
be a
got really excited.
That's a 21 to hit with a critical.
Okay. You will automatically add the full value of your
Proficiency die?
equipment, your weapon attack. So if it does like 1d6 or whatever, you would automatically add 6. If it does 2d6, you'd automatically add 12.
So it's
whatever
like the
you roll.
D&D crits we play where
It's
we did
very
So
that.
it's
much
12
like those, yeah.
12 plus what I roll?
Yes.
Or, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. 8 and 8 is 16. 16 plus what I roll. Got it.
I actually think it also does the maximum amount. So if it's 1d6 plus 2, I think it does 8. If it's 2d6 plus 2, it does 14. And then whatever you roll. So
I have 2d8
So 16.
plus 1.
So
okay, so 17
17.
to start. So roll that dice.
17, 24.
Massive damage. Massive
25.
damage.
It's not massive damage, but it does break severe. It's damn close. So it will be 3 points of damage on old Scruff. And I think, how do you want to do it?
So as I see him hit Kineromyces, I pull my mace back and I'm going to hit him right over the back of the head. And as he falls to the ground, your time here is finished.
He doesn't even hear the last part. So
Your
but,
time is.
but the entire crowd does, and they go insane. Who's up?
So, Kai, as that happens, I'm
So-
howling and sprinting right to you to tag team the shit out of Tenny.
Yeah, how do
And
we do
sorry,
a tag team? What is that
Gerard,
about?
was that attack with fear or hope?
They were both 9s. So
That was a
neither.
crit, baby.
Never mind.
yeah.
Cool.
All right, so I guess.
How do we do a tag team? Because I'm
Yeah,
sprinting right at
We
it.
have to spend 3 hope. Each of us have to spend 3 hope.
I can't do
Each
it.
of you? No, just one of you, I think, has to trigger it with 3 hope.
Oh, I can do it.
Each player can choose to 1 time per session spend 3 hope and initiate.
And initiate.
Okay.
So only
I
one
have
of you has
3.
to do it to initiate. You choose who you're tag teaming with, and then carry out the tag team.
I
So
think
each
you both
player,
have to do
each
3.
player can do it once.
Right.
Okay. Well,
So
I-
each
hang
player
on, hang
once
on.
per.
Hang on. I
Can
hate to
initiate.
say this because it's going to take me out of it, but I'll let Mike do it. I think Eric's right. The way
Yeah.
it's worded to say each player can choose to spend 3 to initiate, if it didn't say each player can, if it was like a player can choose to spend 3 to initiate a tag team.
I am going to overrule it only because I've seen this played by
Good.
Critical Role, the creators of the game, and they do it with one person. Might be
Okay.
some feedback we give them on the wording, but the way I'm hearing that is each person has the opportunity to spend 3 hope once to initiate. And once it's initiated, you are
Hey,
carrying out the
Then
tag
you're
team.
in.
You are GM, you
Okay.
are king. But I will let those two have
Sounds
it.
good.
So
I'm-
she's about to have 6 people over the top of her.
so
Wow. Let's just.
I would like
Murder.
to spend the 3 hope and grab my trash can lid off the back of off my back, and I would like to do like an uppercut where the trash can lid becomes the base for Kai.
Okay, I see. That's how the
Yeah.
tag
I'm
team's going to
bowing out of this.
And
It's them two.
I'm throwing him up ins to do whatever Kai do.
I'll just come down, I guess, on top of her with.
All right, trying
All
to
right.
see where the rules for tag teams are. Let me just check really quick.
104.
1 time per session spent 3.
Why am I not
He's
surprised
so
Eric has the
savage
page
with the
up?
fucking page numbers.
Just-
Where-
I need to look at this.
Sending-
It's on
I
104.
am sending the data missile towards this opponent.
Okay, Kai, using his lid as a platform, what are you doing on the edge on the platform as he's uppercutting?
I'm doing a flip off of it and then going to come down with both my scimitars on.
Hell yeah! So it gets the
Fuck yeah.
punch and then death from above kind of thing.
Yep.
Hell yeah!
Good shit, Tenny.
You both make separate action rolls then. So you'll both roll your duality die for your attack.
Okay. What did you roll,
Well-
Alex?
I rolled a 5 and a 7, so that's a fear. So that is a 12
with
I rolled
fear.
with fear.
So you're only going to choose one of your 2 action rolls to use
I
for
rolled
both
a
of you.
15 with hope.
Oh, let's
I'm
do
assuming
you.
you'll use his.
We'll use that one.
Okay, so 15 with hope for both of your attacks. If the action tracker is active, which it is, this roll only takes 1 action token, so I'll add 1 now.
I guess I will mark a stress for this attack as well.
And so the player that actually rolled the one you use, if it rolls with hope, you gain a hope, Eric, because you are the one that actually rolled it. Mike will not. If you tag team attack roll succeeds, you both roll damage, then add it together to determine the damage dealt. If the action tracker is active, only place 1 token. We said it twice. So, all right. So both of you are going to roll damage because that definitely hits.
Our respective damages, or
Yes.
okay.
You both roll damage and then add it together to figure out the final damage.
I got 12 damage.
I got 14.
Let's get some massive.
12
24
and
damage.
24 total, and you're attacking Tenny.
Penny.
Hey,
That's
so okay,
20.
question. I'm not the one attacking, so I don't
Also
think I can do this,
26.
but can I apply my Slayer dice to this damage?
Yeah.
You're still doing damage.
Okay,
Yeah, you're
so
still
that's
part of it.
14 for me.
Okay, so that's 28.
Is that massive?
It is just barely massive. It is. Hers is 14 severe, so it is massive damage. Does
Let's go.
4 points of
Fuck
damage.
your toes.
And
Teddy.
how does it happen? Because that's it.
Coming down with this, stabbing her. She's squirming around and.
Let's come correct. Kai's coming out of the stratosphere from the fucking
Alex.
thruster I just threw him up in.
Hell yeah. So you get basically
Terminal
uppercutted
velocity.
into the air. You kind of do a pose in the air for the crowd to start cheering, and then you
Hell
do
yeah.
like a tumble flip down and just stab.
Yeah.
And she's out. She basically faints from fear before you actually get to her.
That bitch dies.
Let's
little monkey coming
go.
at her.
All right.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
And
Yo,
that.
it's like the fucking monkey that snatches the banana and like just violently shucks that thing.
The way you just explained this is definitely like some Donkey Kong video game style shit.
Hell yeah.
As it wraps up and the crowd goes crazy, gallant Cleaveheart enters the arena and just starts shouting, and he seems to be magically amplifying his voice somehow. Let's hear it for Gerard Graves, or should I say, Sir Gerard Graves, and his new nightly retinue. And the crowd just goes absolutely insane, and you'll have to tune in next time to find out what your first assignment will be.
I gotta back away from the desk a little. Whew.
I want to thank my fans.
He finally got the knighthood he's been looking for years in games.
I've been looking for it for about a week, and it
Took
feels so
so-
good for it to finally pay off.
In my game, it happens in a week. In Brad's game, you have to wait like a year and a half, and it still never happens.
No, you have
18
to
months
wait-
in the
you have to
sale of
wait
a horse, and he
18
still
months,
never
yeah.
made it.
18 months for the sale of a fucking horse.
All right, tune in next week, folks.
Thank you so much for listening. Please make sure to check out our website at deadsonsco.com for the latest news and social links. If you like our content, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/deadsonscompany.